Hey there guys, what's up? It's Autobot Mike 18 here with another one of my TV episode reviews. Guys, TV episode reviews. They've been few and far between on this channel. Now, and all kidding aside, I haven't done one of these since late March when Walking Dead ended. And I kind of do miss doing these. Because I always love doing TV episode reviews for you guys. And I'm currently in the middle of watching a lot of TV shows this summer. And I have decided, and I think I am going to do this every single Sunday for the next 7 weeks. But I think I'm going to be reviewing every episode of this season of this show. Not entirely sure yet, but I think I would like to at least attempt to. And obviously, guys, you know that in this video I'm going to be reviewing the Season 2 premiere, the first episode of the second season of True Detective. That's right, guys. True Detective just aired its second season premiere tonight. I had been really anticipating this, to be completely honest with you guys. Really was looking forward to it. Now, real quick, now I know a lot of you would love to know my thoughts on Season 1, and I never did a formal review for Season 1 of True Detective. And that's probably because I just finished watching the show 3 days ago. I binged watched every episode of the first season. I watched all 8 within the last 2 weeks. I'm all caught up, not that it matters. They're different storylines, different characters and settings. But I wanted to watch all of Season 1 because everybody had been raving about it. I do have it on Blu-ray, so I did watch all of it. I absolutely loved Season 1 of True Detective. It was incredible, okay? That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to really get into... I want to talk about Season 2. That's the point of this video. But I loved Season 1. Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson have given 2 of the best performances I've ever seen on TV. Period. And so many great things about the show. The tracking shot. So naturally, I got even more pumped for Season 2 after I finished binging Season 1. And I got even pumped for Season 2 even before I started watching Season 1, because I watched the teaser on YouTube for Season 2, the one that's silent with no dialogue, but it has that song playing. I've watched that thing at least 1 billion times. I can't stop watching that. I love it. I love that so much. So I got really excited for Season 2 of True Detective. And now that I finished Season 1, I got even more excited because I'm like, this is going to be freaking awesome. I can't wait to see where they're going to take the show next. So they aired their premiere episode tonight, guys, and I don't think I'm going to go all that in depth because there was really a lot going on tonight, and I think they need to really condense things. But before I get into positives and negatives of tonight's episode, it was, you know what, I'm forgetting the name of the episode. I'm going to have to look here at my notes. The Western Book of the Dead. Not that memorable of a title episode, if you ask me. That being said, The Western Book of the Dead. Basically, what we're in for the whole hour-length runtime of the episode is we're following 4 different characters throughout, and what I'm basically going to have to do, I'm basically going to have to talk and discuss about each character and how they all end up intertwining with each other in the final scene of the episode, setting us up for the season we are going to get. But we have 4 characters. 3 of them are cops. One of them are cops/detectives. One of them is a businessman/mobster, and that, of course, I believe his name is Frank Simone, and he's played by Vince Vaughn in the show. That's the businessman, mobster, I'm the man in power character. Then we have Ray Velcoro, played by Colin Farrell, who is a detective in some part of LA. I can't remember the name. Vicini, I think, is the name. And Colin Farrell basically is this season's Rust Cole. Oh, yeah, he is. But not on the level of Matthew McConaughey. Not yet, that is. And then we have a highway patrol officer, Paul Woodrow, played by Taylor Kitsch. I know, I winced a little bit when I heard he was cast in this. And then we have, what's her name? Rachel McAdams, playing a sheriff. I can't remember her name, though. Something Bedezris, I don't know what it is. Anyway, so those are our cast of characters throughout this episode, and obviously going to be our cast of characters throughout the entire season. Now, what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to have to break it down by characters. I think I'll start with Rachel Mcadams' character first, because she is one of the characters that we see the most of, apart from Colin Farrell's character. So I'll start off with her. She's basically, sheriff in some district in LA. I don't entirely remember. And when we first start off seeing her, she's given a very, how do I put this? A very bland opening. She had some night with this guy, and I guess he slept over, and he did something that made her feel uncomfortable, and she was just very disgusted with it. But the only thing I really picked up from that scene was that she just wanted to get to work. It's the scene after that I think really picks up, and I'm like, okay, now I really want to get to learn more and more about her character. Because as soon as I see Rachel Mcadams wearing the sheriff tack vest, and she's holding a Glock or whatever, and she's storming this house, I'm like, that's pretty awesome. I was really intrigued to see Rachel McAdams in one of the leading roles in the trailer, when I saw her in the trailer. So I said, I'm very interested to see where they're gonna go with her character. And we're really just we're given the foundation of her character and sort of like a seminal backstory as she associates with her sister in one part of the episode, and eventually her father, who's at this religious institute, played by David Morse. And that's really all we're getting to learn about her so far. I would like to, I feel like we should start to learn even more and more about Rachel McAdams. But we're learning that she did have a very strained past life in regards to her relationship with her father and her sister. Her sister and her are completely different, because early on in the episode, she storms this house, and the guy who's the head of the house is legally operating a one of those webcam shows where, you get girls and they go on porn sites and they do live cam shows and whatnot. And Rachel McAdams finds her sister wearing blue hair at this house. So she realizes that she is in the porn industry and basically reads her the riot act and is like, why the hell are you doing this, basically? Gonna cut it short. That's basically what happens in that moment. So it's interesting to see that sort of relationship, how you could tell two completely different sisters. And then she goes to visit David Morse's character, who plays her father in the show. He's sort of like this guru guy, spiritual leader with white hair, long gray hair. And the reason she goes to visit this institute, I cannot remember the name of it, starts with a P, because she, at one point in the episode, goes to this house on a floor to present a bill of foreclosure to the homeowner, and the homeowner tells you, if you really want to do your job, you cops, you'll find my sister. She's been missing for months. And I'm like, lady, why haven't you been pesterizing the police? She's been missing for months now. What is going on? But so they decide to. So Rachel McAdams starts to look into this case to find out what's going on here. So she asks around, asks a couple questions, talks with her dad, tells her dad what her sister's been up to, and that's more or less what we get into with Rachel McAdams' character in the first episode. And then, of course, her character meets along with Colin Farrell and Taylor Kitsch in the last scene. But I'm not going to get into that just yet. Because I'll get into that in the end after I talk about each character and what they're getting involved with and whatnot. I think real quick now I'll talk about Vince Vaughn's character. Now I'm going to say this much about him right now. He's the one I was very skeptical going into the show of Vince Vaughn, because I'm not a fan of the guy, to be completely honest, and I just felt that I didn't see him being able to pull off a dramatic role. I really felt that going into this. And I can say this, although his character is just not fazing me, he's really just come off to me as sort of like the stereotypical sort of businessman, mobster that you'd see in any show, really. I am intrigued to see I want to see his character go down some pretty dark path or something like that, and I feel that they are introducing us to him, but of all the characters we met in tonight's episode, I think he is the least appealing, in my opinion. His character is least appealing. I mean, we've seen it a million times before, and the only thing I'm giving his character, and this isn't even the character himself, I'm going to give it to the performance, because I must say this much. I did not see Vince Vaughn. Of course I saw Vince Vaughn, but I didn't say to myself, he looks so goofy, and he looks like he just doesn't want to be here, and he just looks like he can't carry the emotional heft of a character from a drama like True Detective. So, a crime drama like True Detective. So, I wasn't sure, but I can say this much. It looks like he's enjoying the role. It looks like he's trying to do his best with it, and I'm really interested to see where he's going to take it. Basically, he's married to Kelly Riley in the show, and he's talking with some guy called Osip. Some OSIP guy flies in. He had some business deal arranged with this OSIP guy, a very, I guess, important man in this. But he's basically getting involved in transportation. He's investing in this railway line that they're planning on building in one section of Los Angeles. And he goes to this like like a dinner party sort of thing, and ends up having to step in as the key speaker for this dinner party, because the city manager, who I guess is overseeing this project of this city rail line, has gone missing, and his name is Ben Caspere, and I'm going to get into Mr. Ben Caspere a little bit later on. That's basically all we get from Vince Vaughn. We also get to see that he is connected to Colin Farrell's character, who's doing some shady things, very questionable things, definitely breaking the law here or there, but who doesn't love an outlaw, right? Now, I'm going to get into Colin Farrell last, because I want to save the best for last, as they say. And I'm not saying that I talked about Rachel McAdams first, because she's the least interesting to me so far. I would say Vince Vaughn is. It's for me right now, it's Colin Farrell, Rachel McAdams, Taylor Kitsch, and Vince Vaughn right now. In terms of who I'm interested in. But that's basically all we get with Vince Vaughn's character, Frank Simon. I want to see him more threatening, okay? I want to see him threaten people. I want him to earn his right as a mobster on this show. I want him to do a damn good job selling it. We didn't really get that with this episode, but I think we will later on. I just really liked the dynamic between him and Colin Farrell's character, how he's sort of like looking to Colin Farrell to get sort of his dirty work done for him, and I like how they've got that little bond going on with each other, and I'm really interested to see where that's going to go. Other than that, that's really all I'm going to say about Vince Vaughn. I just want to see him improve, but I will give him credits for attempting this role and actually doing a pretty good job with it so far. Now, getting into Taylor Kitsch. You know you've got a lot of characters in this show when Taylor Kitsch gets introduced 20 minutes into the episode. I believe it was 20 minutes into the episode we finally see Taylor Kitsch come into the show. And I may be wrong, maybe I miscounted, but I just felt it took way too long to get to his position, and I really feel that so much was going on. I think maybe they should have saved him for next week or something. I don't know, but with the way things tie up in the end, we sort of need Taylor Kitsch in this episode. Basically, he's playing Officer Paul Woodrow, and he's a highway patrol cop. I think he once was in the Army, once was involved in... he's a war veteran. He's got a bunch of scars, bunch of skeevy-looking scars on his body, and basically in this episode, he has to take a leave of absence from the force after he pulls over this intoxicated woman who makes a sexual advance on him and obviously wants to give him oral sex. Offers that, or suggests it. And I believe that she slams him that he came on to her. And I guess she reports it to his office, his district, and he gets put on a leave of absence. I forget if it was with or without pay. I literally forget the line. And you can tell that this is going to damage Taylor Kitsch. But honestly, I didn't really feel anything for him because we get introduced to him and he's riding, and that's it. That's the first shot that's our introduction to Taylor Kitsch. He's on the highway. We see him meet this girl, and then like a scene later, he's in the office of the sheriff, I guess, or his head deputy or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, he's on leave of absence. All right, I want to know more about him. And he goes home, and honestly, he just didn't have much to do in this episode. And I was really disappointed because out of everyone in the trailers, he looked the most appealing to me, in my opinion. One, because I want to see Taylor Kitsch make a comeback. I want to see Taylor Kitsch do something with his career to make people, say that he's a decent actor who's just gotten some shitty roles. And I hope that he can turn his career around with this movie, in a sense. But the first episode, he's good. He's fine in it. He's very good. But I just feel that we did not get enough of him. He goes home. He's got this wife, girlfriend. Apparently, he's always going out on her. She's not really a fan of that. She's, feels maybe, is he with someone else? Is he, just, does he want to even be in this relationship? And it sounds like he's just very struggled, and I really don't know why. You can blame his past life, I guess in the army, because of all the scars. He goes in to take a shower and stays in for 30 minutes, much to his girlfriend's misfortune. And she's like, what were you doing in there for 30 minutes? And he's like, I was really busy, in his Taylor Kitsch voice, or whatever he said. I'm paraphrasing. And later on in the episode, he leaves her and drives through into the night on his motorcycle and is just speeding, basically, and yelling into the night, almost. So you could tell that something's wrong with him, something that happened. There's a lot of tension or something building up inside of him, and he's just going to blow. And he finds something that I'm going to get into after I talk about Mr. Colin Farrell. Now, when I first watched the trailer, I was a little skeptical of Colin Farrell's character. I was like, oh, he looks cool. Oh, he's putting on brass knuckles. That's pretty badass. I can't wait to see what Colin Farrell's going to do. Other than that, nothing really wowed me with him in the trailer. I'm just like, oh, it's Colin Farrell in True Detective. I was a lot more intrigued with Rachel McAdams' character and Taylor Kitsch's character, as opposed to Colin Farrell. I will say this much. Colin Farrell's character is by far the best character on the show right now. He is the one that has been the most developed. They gave him the most screen time. They gave him a whole backstory. They're building up his relationship with Vince Vaughn very well. They're showing that he has a very dark side, that he is a very regretful man. He does things that he may or may not want to do. He is working for people, in particular Vince Vaughn's character. He has a very violent and harsh side to him, and he will kick your ass if you mess with him. And honestly, he's the most multi-layered character on the show right now, and it's probably because he got the most screen time out of anyone in the show. And I think maybe because they gave us plenty of perfect scenes for him. I think if they would have added another scene for Taylor Kitsch, maybe another scene for Vince Vaughn, I would have maybe cared about them a lot more than, or about as the same as Colin Farrell. Because remember, if you're going to have all of these characters in the show, you have to be able to fully balance them out and give each enough appropriate amount of screen time, and make sure each has their own backstory, make sure each character has a very important place in the show, make us feel for this character. And I definitely felt for Colin Farrell in this show. He's had a rough past life with his wife. I believe at one point she was raped when he was very young in the force, and they show us one glimpse of the past where he meets with Vince Vaughn's character, who gives him some information about the man who sexually assaulted or abused his wife. And now we know that he's in the middle of a divorce and in the middle of a custody battle, trying to get more visitation for his young son, who he sends to school early on in the episode. And you could just tell when the son leaves the car, he's just very upset with the way things have become at this point. He wants to see more of his son, even though he's, I guess busy with work, busy with his connections with Vince Vaughn, and amongst all these other things. And he probably just feels like a shit person. Now, he does two things in this episode that really intrigued me and really made him stand out as basically this season's new Russ Cole. This is this season's new Matthew McConaughey. And I did not know this was him in the trailer. Since he's working with Vince Vaughn, Vince Vaughn gives him some information of the staff writer that has, I guess, been, I don't know, upsetting Vince Vaughn. So he's outside this guy's house, Colin Farrell, puts on the mask, puts on that black ski mask, that shot from the trailer, and looks at a homeless person and goes shh, and then walks up the stairs and beats the crap out of the guy. So, I mean, that was awesome. I did not know that was Colin Farrell. It's so awesome to see he is going above the law and doing things that are not right. They're very sketchy, as a matter of fact. And if he gets found out, he's going to go down. And I can't wait to see where they're going to go with his character, in all honesty. And the second other interesting thing he does in tonight's episode, apart from investigating into this Ben Caspere case, Capers, whatever the hell his name is, the city manager who went missing, Colin Farrell finds out his son is getting bullied. So he gets the information of who's been bullying his son, goes to the kid's house where he meets the father, asks the son and the father to come out, and to make matters worse, when the scene first starts off, he's at the house and he's talking to the father. And he could have just as easily put on the brass knuckles and kicked the shit out of the father right there. But instead, he gets the father to get the son, the bully, to come outside, and he makes the kid watch. Like, they don't stress it, but he's letting the kid watch himself kick the crap out of the kid's father. That's freaking badass right there, okay? That was awesome. That was an awesome moment. I can't wait to see. And he threatens the kid. I can't remember the line he threatened him with, but he's basically like, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna butt fuck your dad with your mom's corpse head or some shit like that. He's a badass, Colin Farrell. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with him. Don't waste his character. Okay, I cannot wait to see where they're gonna go with that. But that was such an amazing scene. He's all about justice, even if it's going about doing it in the wrong way. And then in one of the last scenes, he goes and visits with Vince Vaughn in a bar, gets shit-faced drunk, and tells him he carried out the job for him, which is kicking the crap out of that guy undercover. And then he gets a call. Rachel Mcadams gets a call when Taylor Kitsch finds a dead body on a park bench with no eyes and I forget what was, I think his pelvic area was crushed. So Rachel Mcadams reports to the scene, and Colin Farrell reports to the scene, and we find out it's Ben Capers, whatever the hell, that Ben guy, the guy who was missing, who they were looking for throughout the episode. And that is how these characters are all going to intercede. And I love the last shot. Rachel Mcadams looks at Colin Farrell, and Colin Farrell looks back at her, and he's like just staring. I love how they're staring at each other. They're going to all cross paths. They may or may not do it in a what do you call it? Things may go bad, things may not. We don't know. Colin Farrell is probably going to butt heads with Rachel Mcadams, and then Taylor Kitsch looks at both of them, and he's just like, what did I just get myself into? Maybe I'm going to get back out on the force. And then the episode cuts to black. So, overall, I know it seems like I've been really ranking this premiere episode, and I did have a lot of flaws with it. I did. It's really starting off with, I think there was way too much going on for a premiere episode of a season. There's way too many characters, and frankly, I don't think there's enough time in the episode to fully establish who these people are as people and give them proper stories and make us really feel for them. And maybe we'll feel for them more so as we get further in to the season. I really hope so, because right now, Taylor Kitsch and Vince Vaughn, I really need their characters to step up and show me what their purpose is on this show. And I want to see something interesting going on with both of them. I want to see some sort of interesting dynamic, not between the two of them, but in general. I thought all the performances were excellent. Colin Farrell is a beast. Rachel Mcadams is very good. Taylor Kitsch was great. And Vince Vaughn really surprised me. I'm really digging the performances. The episode was well shot and everything. I think there is an absurd, way too many bird's eye, extreme high-angle shots of highways and cars going over highways. I think we got I think they could have cut out at least 3 or 4 of those shots. They look amazing. I just don't understand why we're getting so many of them. That's just how I feel. But yeah, a little bit convoluted in terms of the plot. Things are a little bit all over the place, and I don't think we got enough screen time for Taylor Kitsch. I think they're juggling with too many characters right now. Honestly, if they really wanted to make things work easier. I mean, they could have easily, honestly, cut one of those characters out of this show entirely. I want to learn about all of them. Maybe I'll feel stronger about that next week. Maybe I'll say, it's time to let Taylor Kitsch go. He's got no place here. Maybe I'll say, Vince Vaughn's not doing much for me. Get him out. But I just love the way the first season did it with McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. That's all we needed. And the first I'll be honest, the first 2 episodes of season 1 of True Detective, wasn't a huge fan of them. I did not care for the first episode. Episode 2 got okay. And then 3 came along and blew me away. And then 4, forget about it. And I was hooked on season 1. So I really hope that season 2 can do that for me. Overall, an interesting, intriguing premiere. I really want to see more from certain characters, though, and I really hope they go somewhere. But I'm excited to see what's going to go down, who's going to cross paths. That being said, I am going to give the first episode of True Detective an 8.5 out of 10, or solid grade of a B. Not as good as the latter half of season 1 of True Detective, but I think, like the first season, it's only going to get better as episodes progress, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Guys, with all that being said, what did you think of the first premiere episode of True Detective? Are you excited to see where these characters are going to go? What do you think of Colin Farrell's character? Are you rooting for him? Do you think he's a terrible man? He is, but he's awesome. What do you think of all the characters? What do you think of the actors? Do you think everyone's fitting their roles? And what did you think of season 1? Also, let me know about that down below as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And stay tuned. Hopefully I will review episode 2 next Sunday when it airs. Thank you guys. I will see you later. Bye.